Ashton Langford. Round to Mitchell. Mitchell catch and shoot. Nothing but net. Gets things started. And that is what we see DJ Mitchell do all season long.
I mean, how can you compete with that if you're a Bristol team? They have to try to put, he can score in many different ways, and he has that range as he showed in his last play.
Louis finds Robinson. He looks to answer, banks it in. Bristol looks at inbound. It's intercepted by Jure. Gets it over to Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford racing down the court. Has Irvin. He'll lay it in.
This is Manchester basketball. They want to get rebounds.
Round to Johnson. Johnson. Back to Louis. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson. Bristol need to put something on here. Johnson all the way to the hole.
At 17.5 points per game, and we saw why.
Oh, rejected by Lewis. Swats it into the stands almost there.
Kendall Lewis is one of the most athletic players that I've seen in a long time.
He got high up in the air.
Super high, and he just kind of lost where he was on the court. Obviously, in those corners, it's a real short corner.
Kayo, all alone to the basket, throws it down.
It's going to be huge there, because as we know, Bristol Flyers, they take their time on offense. Their defensive rebounds. Bristol doing a good job of getting back on defense that time.
And Ashton Langford takes it to the basket.
It's very hard to contain him, and you'll need a very elite defender on him.
Johnson's long too strong. Bristol get the rebound and another chance as Johnson all the way. Takes the contact, and he's going to go to the foul line.
That is what Keedy Johnson does. He gets to the free throw line. He's made 98 free throws this season, good for top 5, as we see there.
Manchester racing down the floor. Kayo back to Mitchell. Ashton Langford with a deep three, nails it.
Out of their hands very fast.
And if you're Bristol and you're shooting 52% from the field, you're thinking, hey, we're in a pretty good range, isn't it? Like, that is not a problem for Ashton Langford to shoot that shot.
No, it's not.
McCormack looks to answer for Bristol and does.
We talked about Owen McCormack in the before the game.
As Delpeche lays it in. And it gets to the basket, runs into Ashton Langford, has to kick it out. Walsh goes inside. And can't get it to go, but
that's how Kendall Lewis is in the right place at the right time. We know he's a monster on the defensive glass.
Delpeche is going to try a three and hits it.
There's just something about Delpeche. These past 6 games, he's been on a tear. We talked about it pregame. He's the newest, best shooter on the team.
And
you can find something to get yourself going for.
McCormack, three is open and he'll drop it in. And we spoke about him pregame, Dwayne, but
the regime of Herman Mandole, I think he benefits the most from the coaching change on this Manchester team.
He's been a real spark off the bench as he gets things going, as we said.
Because he can do that. And
Bristol looking for an answer here. Manchester up 4. Landolfi to Robinson inside. Tough move. Samuels. McCormack inside, all alone. Leading all scorers with 8 points personal so far here in the first. DeBose has to pass out. John's there. John hanging in the air, gets that to drop. Walsh. Robinson inside. And that's too easy for DeMond Robinson. DeBose finds a lane, off the glass and in. Count that. And the foul, and Ian DeBose going to go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
Ian DeBose, the former Wake Forest guard.
DeBose finds Kayo. Kayo looks to go all the way.
Last game, he had 0 points. The first time for this season, and I'm sure the first time in his career that he scored 0 points in a game.
The ball's knocked loose. McCormack, oh, great fake and puts it in.
A bright spot for this Bristol Flyers team.
And he's coming off the bench for the Flyers today. DeBose out to Kayo. Thought about the shot. Irvin, he'll try for 3 and gets the friendly roll. Walsh against Ifeje, launches for three, nets it. Oh, that's a long two. Johnson. Back to Johnson, 4 seconds, dancing around the outside, pulls the trigger and hits.
He loves to get to the rim and loves to get to the free throw line, but that time he's showed off the range. He can also get it done behind the line.
As the Bose breaks free.
I think it's going to be a big game for him.
Johnson hits from behind the arc.
Another one. Kyle Carey has the assignment.
Johnson breaks free, hands up. Oh, a great pass to the cutting Lewis. And that will put the Flyers up too.
Yeah, Lewis is one of those players that's always in the right place at the right time.
It's been a 16-9 run for the Flyers so far this quarter after Manchester were up 27-22 at the end of the first. Carey in the corner, drains it, and that's exactly what Kyle Carey does when he comes out on court. It's a really good ball movement there from the Flyers.
Really good ball movement. That ball is getting passed around.
Inside, throws it down, takes the contact.
Tell us how you really feel, big fella. Throw it down with the contact.
4-point Manchester lead. Ashton Langford, hand off to Del Pesh. Doesn't drop. Del Pesh gets the rebound though, working hard inside and rewarding with two.
That time he gets the offensive rebound on his own miss and puts it up.
Louis. Thomas Edwards in the corner, sinks a three. Not that time, but another offensive board for the Flyers. Walsh alone outside the three-point line, ties the game at 46.
And that time, Bristol benefits from a scramble situation.
Ashton Langford puts it in for Manchester. Lewis, back to Louis. Pass inside to Robinson. Robinson will lay it in.
Coach Mandoli was expecting coming into the second half. They usually are the ones that's putting it on the other teams early to start. That's exactly what you want. Just unfortunately, it didn't go down.
Louis weaving his way to the basket. Nice finish. Johnson calling for it behind the three-point line. Into Robinson. And Robinson just took his time there, able to finish, and that puts the Flyers up by 4.
That is a momentum killer. Mackay with a deep three.
And that's the second time we've seen Kendall Lewis get high up in the air and block a shot.
Right, we talked about it earlier.
Johnson drops it in, and it's a 6-point lead for the Flyers, their biggest lead of the game. After picking up those 3 fouls in the first half. Mitchell to Kayo. Kayo finds space inside, and that's a great start for Manchester out of that timeout. That's Louis. Looking for some help. Takes it to the basket himself and will lay it in.
So he's really picking up his offense. He was already doing good on defense.
Ashton Langford with a behind-the-head pass back out to DJ Mitchell. Splashes it in. Showtime play from Manchester.
You don't want to foul him. And Johnson, he's the kind of player that sometimes he's going to make these kind of mistakes because he's very, it's perfect. And now let's see if they can push the pace with a easy bucket.
Ashton Langford hanging in the air. Drops it in. It's that hang time.
On defense, but sometimes he'll get a steal and you're not mad with it. That time, a little bit too overzealous. Close the space a little bit too much with Mackay, Ashton Langford leading the charge.
Johnson backs it down. It's a 1-point Flyers lead. Louis lines up a 3, gets it to go.
He was able to collect himself and shoot and make a 3-point shot.
Mitchell looks to answer for Manchester. He's fouled on the shot.
He's hot. What are you going to say?
Johnson with 4 seconds, loses the ball but keeps it alive. Lewis inside, hook shot, no good. Del Pesh pulls it down. And Ashton Langford racing down the court, pulls up and gets the roll. Manchester back up by 1.
As we said, and that is where it starts. On the defensive end, you cannot run if you don't have the ball.
Lewis step back, 2's good.
We got a back and forth game, and now this, as we said before, this pace favors Manchester.
Del Pesh off the glass, and what a pass there from Ashton Langford.
Incredible. I mentioned it earlier. Teams might try to use, teams might, absolutely. Very fine margins, and the home court has always won. Let's see if Manchester has the same fortune as we see Mackay, Ashton Langford.
He can just step it up when he needs to, when his team needs him to. as Robinson gets the ball inside. Hands off to the running Walsh.
That was a great pass by Robinson on there. A potential highlight play. That's not bad.
As Robinson hits a 3, and the Flyers go back on top. Robinson against Mitchell. Robinson spinning baseline, kicks it out. Louis has 4 seconds trying to get past Ashton Langford. That is a tough move to the basket.
That time he seals off the defender for an easy finish.
Irvin, corner 3 will go in for Manchester alongside Cody John.
And Elijah FAJ is a guy that can definitely make his mark on this game.
Robinson looks to go back-to-back threes for Robinson.
I think teams are starting to see we need to beat Manchester at their own game. So I think you're going to see a lot of teams do this in the playoffs. Try to shoot your own threes.
And Robinson on an 8-point run himself. 10 seconds. Samuels finds McCormack. McCormack, 3. Bounces out. Walsh with the rebound and puts it back in. In the corner, finds Walsh again. Time winding down, 5 seconds. Walsh, scoop layup. Oh, it's a tough shot off the glass.
As you mentioned before, he played here last year, and he's a 3x3 player. So he's a crafty guy. Oh.
Delpeche left alone, slams it home. Finds McCormack. 4 seconds, Robinson inside. Robinson hangs in the air, takes him up to 21 points personal.
And he's a homegrown talent, so I'm sure their fans are loving them.
And right on cue, Ashton Langford takes it to the basket.
Ashton Langford, we know the impact he has on the game, and he'll need it in this fourth quarter.
Evan Walsh just making tough shot after tough shot.
Everybody else can pick up the slack for the minutes that he's not on the court.
Kayo to the basket, gets it to drop.
He's a strong player.
Walsh, McCormack inside, double team, passes back out to Lewis. What a pass.
Oh, that is just two crafty players.
Has a couple of rebounds as well, and for Manchester leading the way, Mackay Ashton Langford with 15 points and 8 assists, but as we said, he's on.
And this is the big time moment.
So back out on court, DeBose will pull up for 3 and he'll hit! Ian DeBose with a big bucket for Manchester. Inside to Delpeche, back out to DeBose. Kayo has space, driving to the basket.
Nathan Kayo being aggressive.
Absolutely, as Kendall Lewis swings it round to Johnson. Johnson driving to the basket.
That's
6-point ball game. It's just under 5 minutes remaining.
Flyers up 6 here, under 4.5 minutes to play. And a big 3 from Thomas Edwards in the corner. DeBose to Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford runs into Lewis. Passes over to Mitchell, who'll lay it in. Ashton Langford stops, turns, bounces out, gets his own rebound, tries to put it back in. He does! Ashton Langford with a circus shot, and that is the impact he has on the game.
well, free throws made, so we know he gets to the free throw line. You just got to try to contest without Mackay Ashton Langford. I don't know how he kept his balance without falling and having that soft touch for the finish.
Johnson, and he'll get the foul.
You see that circuit shot by Alfred. Wow, falling back on the back foot. But then Keedy Johnson comes back with the M1 and he converts on his free throw.
So leads back up to 8 for the Flyers. Ashton Langford racing down the court, off the glass, and he takes the contact. He's going to go to the foul line. Leaves the space open, but obviously Ashton Langford, he's so quick. We can see him there dancing around the outside. Mitchell into the post, inside, slams it down. Ball's in the hands of Ashton Langford. 19 points. Ashton Langford spins against Walsh. Lewis knocks the ball out of the air, and that's Kendall Lewis's 3rd block of the game. Bristol needs to get it over the halfway line. McCormack intercepted by Mitchell. Mitchell has Irvin. Irvin, he'll put it in off the glass and brings Manchester back within 2. With possession, Ashton Langford hands off to Irvin. Irvin to the basket. Gets it to drop, and it's back to a 1-point game. 3-point Flyers lead. Manchester with a 3 will tie the game. DeBose, and ball's knocked out of bounds. Bristol forced the turnover and will get the ball back with 13.4 on the clock.
No, he's not the guy you want to foul, and that's why Bristol wanted him to have the ball.
So first is good for McCormack. 13, apologies, with that free throw. And now he's at 14. Ashton Langford has it. Mitchell pulls up for 3. Too strong. Rebound back out to Mitchell. Mitchell's 3 bounces off. And it's going to be too late for Ashton Langford. And the Bristol Flyers edge it 97-90.